What up, y'all? It's your boy, Night2727, and this is my review for Spider-Man Edge of Time for 3DS. Now, I've pretty much been the only person in the world who cared about the viewers and gave you a little bit of screenshots. Videos, I'm sorry. I gave you videos when nobody else would. I just wanted to lock myself in a room and play the game, but I decided to take some footage, post it up on YouTube, got a lot of positive feedback. I try to answer everybody's question. I really appreciate the feedback. I love answering questions and all. I don't mind it at all. So pretty much the review came into play. People wanted me to do a review. So I try to take some detail into this review. I try to make some, good points and actually look at it. I played it over and over. I beat it about once, but I went back and did a lot of the parts over again just to make sure I'm sure about everything. I believe I gave it a fair score. One of the guys that commented on one of my videos said IGN gave it like a 4.5 or something out of 10. Well, that's horrible. I don't agree with that at all. I had my own scoring system. I photoshopped it and everything, drew it up, put it on the computer. So I'm going to explain my point system. I'm going to play the section I'm going to break it off into. Hope you like it. So, will Spider-Man Edge of Time set the bar and show other 3DS games how it's done? Or will it be a disappointment and just be like every other game that's on the 3DS? A late port or a washed up remake? Stay tuned for my review. So, let's see how I'm going to review this game. Now right here is the categories that I'm going to break it down into for the review. So a maximum of 10 points for each category. We're going to do graphics, gameplay, sound, and replay value. Now there's 4 categories. Each of the 4 categories can get a maximum of 10 points. So the highest possible score you can get on one of my reviews is a 40. Now here's my scoring system. 40 points is an A, 35 is a B, 30 is a C, 25 is a D, and 20 is a F. Anything below isn't worth the money. Sad face. So, in order to get like a B plus, for example, it would have to be 1 or 2 points above that 35. Or a B minus would be 1 or 2 points below. That's for each letter grade except the A. It's just a raw A. You don't get any better than that. It's just a A. You can get a D plus by having a 27 or 26. A D minus by having a 24 or a 23. Alright, so let's get into the review. Alright, so let's talk about the graphics. Make this quick. The graphics in Spider-Man The Edge of Time are pretty darn good. They're very impressive for a handheld. The graphics on like the character model of the Amazing Spider-Man himself looks very good, and it looks way sharper in 3D. Later on in the game, he gets beat up. He's, you're fighting all these multiple enemies, so his suit starts to rip. He looks dirty, and he really looks worn down. And it's very good that they took that into consideration. So as you play the later levels, now he's dirty looking. He doesn't keep his costume fresh the whole time like he has multiple outfits on the go. So they actually put a lot of detail into that. And when you really look at his dirty character model up close, it really can be compared to the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Now when we talk about the backgrounds, the environments, everything around, it's considered to about the Wii. They're not bad, they look good, they're very balanced. The enemies, they fit well into it. Spider-Man fits well into it. He doesn't stick out like a sore thumb, like, whoa, his graphics look way better, but everything else looks like crap. It's not like that. It actually balances out and looks pretty good. The character models don't look as good for, like, let's say, like the enemies and some of the other people in the cutscenes. Whoever's not really that important doesn't look that great. I don't know why, but I have to take some points off of that. Because, just compared to Spider-Man, some of the enemies don't look nearly as good standing next to him. And they look kind of rushed. They kind of look like a PSP model. But it's okay because they're not terrible, but it's not the best. I believe it may have slightly been rushed just to get it out there on time for once, which is a nice thing because now Spider-Man Edge of Time is considered 3DS version, not a late port. It's on time. It came out on the same release date for the other ones in North America, which is October 4th. So very good, but a reason why I have to take off a little bit more points is because once I unlocked some of the outfits and I slapped it on and I played it just, the character model for the alternate outfits, only some of them look good and other ones look a lot better than the other ones for some reason. I unlocked the red and black one for the Amazing Spider-Man, and it just looks horrible compared to some of the other ones. So they didn't. I don't think they had enough time. Some of the stuff wasn't as polished. Like that's replay value right there. You know, you get a new outfit, you want to play through it looking a little bit different. That's replay value. But you know, because the graphics weren't as good, I had to take off some points. So for Spider-Man Edge of Time, the graphics get a 7 out of 10. Spider-Man Edge of Time for 3DS looks amazing, especially for a handheld. The character models in Spider-Man, well, the Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2099 look very good. They took a lot of time and put little detail into each character. Right here is an unlockable outfit for Spider-Man 2099. Looks very good and the graphics work very well. The 3D complements the style, adding a little depth but nothing that's really too pop out. The background of the game looks very good. Some levels look better than others, but it all looks very good for a portable experience. Here's an example of how good the Spider-Man model can look. Later on in the game, Spider-Man takes some damage. He gets beat up, and as you see, he looks dirty. His suit is ripped and he looks very worn down. So they took a lot of time to polish Spider-Man's character model and really make it match with the story. And the backgrounds do look very well. The graphics overall are very good, but some of the enemies look very bad in comparison to such a great Spider-Man model. A lot of people said that the graphics can be compared to the Wii version, but actually looking at this Spider-Man model right here, he can be compared to the console brethren. Alright, now I'm back to the beginning of the game again, just to show off an alternate outfit and how bad it looks compared to any other model in the game. This right here is a new suit for Spider-Man. Hardly any detail put into this at all. And this is why I had to take some points off, just for you didn't believe me, thought I was just being picky, but I mean, you can look at him, he looks pretty horrible. So you might want to avoid unlocking this one and find something better. So let's take a look at the gameplay footage. Spider-Man Edge of Time is a very fast, action-paced game. One of the best you'll find on the handhelds. Explosive combat, high combos, multiple enemies on screen at once, just a lot to do. The controls work very well. Y is to throw a weak punch, X is to throw a heavier attack. A is to use your webbing, X and A is to grab, and Y to strike afterwards. Web sling is R, and you can also web zip by tapping it if you see a yellow icon. And the L is to use your power, as if I'm using a shield. I mean a hologram. Now the problem with this is that there's some there's some frame rate issues. The camera can be troublesome, just like any other Spider-Man game. When you're close up to the walls, it's hard to see. Sometimes when you wall crawl, it's really hard to situate with the camera. The camera's controlled by the D-pad. Now there's no option to change the button layout. That could be a problem for some, but it's not that big of a fall, judging by how fast the action is. The gameplay pretty much puts together the whole game. It is the reason why this game is so good, and just unbelievable when you realize that this is on a handheld. Pretty much everything you get in a console, you get on this handheld, and it just works well. A lot of future 3DS games need to take a close look at this before they develop their own. So for the gameplay department, Spider-Man Edge of Time gets a solid 9 out of 10. Alright, for the sound on Spider-Man Edge of Time is top notch. Now with the DS versions of Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, 3, Web of Shadows, even Shattered Dimensions, all you had to read little text bubbles. for the 3DS, it has two screens. So as you're playing the top screen as one of the Spider-Man, either 2099 or Amazing, the other one sometimes will pop up on a second. And they're having conversations and they're arguing. It's all voice acting that you get to hear. Perfect presentation, story works well, everything they're talking about relates to the story. They, listening to each little conversation, it explains stuff. The story is so wild that even the Amazing Spider-Man gets a little confused, and 2099 has to explain it to him. So they go back and forth with their ranting. Spider-Man's trash talking as he's fighting the bad guys. Alarm systems are going off. The enemies even say stuff every now and then. It's just a perfect presentation, and you can't get any better for a handheld. It's a complete console experience. So check out a little footage. This is the very beginning of the game. There are already been trailers on the PS3 that's already out, so I don't really consider this a spoiler, but it's just the very beginning of the game to get you to show you an example of the presentation and the sound work. So check it out. Take a look at the sound.
This isn't you. No, Joyce. Eddie, you're not a killer anymore. Don't you get it? You're not in your right mind.
Sound and presentation are beautiful, amazing for a handheld. Very console-like experience.
Are you even listening to me?
Every little line, joke, wisecrack is all included. It makes a beautiful presentation. Most handheld games usually have to cut away from most of the voice acting and give you a lot of text to read. This
Not supporting this train, Eddie. Hang on, partner. Just hold them up another few seconds. I'm almost there. You're not the engineer driving it right now. Oh my God. You can't. Of course.
presentation is magnificent. Brilliant voice acting. Spiderman Edge of Time sound department gets a perfect 10 out of 10.
Like my old self. Strength and everything. Yeah, well, it's a good thing the cellular regenerator had your DNA on record. Good. Stand back. What do you mean? I'm coming through the gateway. Wait, the return circuits are fried. I will be able to come through even if you set it up on that end. I'll be stuck here. So fix it. I can't. The technology doesn't exist here yet. You need to find the repair parts on your side and then send them through. I'll guide you.
You gotta admit, that was pretty good. So, Spider-Man, The Edge of Time, and the sound department gets a perfect 10 out of 10. Alright, now let's take a look at replay value. After you're done Spider-Man, you have chapter select. You can continue from the last point that you played. Now you have your bonus gallery, newspaper. Let's go look at the newspapers. Brief little articles from the Daily Bugle, nothing too special. Memos. Now these are actually physical, you can find on the ground, and they're just a bunch of articles you can read. Web challenges. Now these challenges come from the story mode. There are a whole bunch of challenges you can do. Now from this specific challenge mode, if you click on one, it will take you to that point in the story and let you do that challenge and come back. Now for some of these, let's say for this one, this little circle right here, if you do all of the ones around and get at least a silver, you'll get a 1 point, 1 key to unlock an alternate suit. And also you get some stuff in a bonus gallery, some concept art. That's about it. So in the challenges, they tell you exactly what you need to do, and they'll tell you what you get. So it gives a little bit of replay value there for you perfectionists out there. You can still upgrade your character, and there's still some options. Now let's take a look at the bonus gallery. Did you know Malcolm X? Yeah, I don't need to read all that. Give you little hints, little stuff to read. So you have alternate suits, action figures. The action figures are pretty much your characters. Like I was saying before about some of the bad character models, well, here's a close look at some of them. You know, they just don't look that great compared to the Spider-Man model. So that's why I took some points off of that. But back to replay value, you have concept art. Just some, you know, just some pictures to look at to appreciate the art style of the game. You have your movies. Pretty much every movie that you've seen, cinematic movies pulled from the console, you can watch later on, and your credits for the people who want to watch that. For you people curious about the alternate suits, here you go. Quick look. Alright. Don't want to spoil too much for you. There's a couple spoilers in some of these suits. But for replay value, it does look good. I mean, those are all the options that you get. It's not that bad. You can also change the difficulty. You can play on easy, normal, or hard with different outfits. Go back, do some more challenges, get every little upgrade that you can possibly get. I know that it's a single player game, so I can't take points off because of that, but you know, it could have been another mode, like how Batman had like challenge maps where you can just go there and just fight a bunch of people, go for a high score. It could have been something else. But the game is long, and you know, it's very challenging. It's about 17 chapters, I believe. Take you about 8 hours on average. So for replay value, it gets a solid 8 out of 10. Alright, so overall for the game, Spider-Man Edge of Time is a very solid game. It has its pros, it has its cons. Very good graphics for a handheld, very great gameplay, just very solid. Just not much to do afterwards. Some of the costumes, some of the enemies look horrible. But other than that, it's a very great console experience that you're going to get on a handheld. So with that being said, when I rally up the points, Spider-Man Edge of Time gets a 34 out of 40, which scores itself a B-. Alright, so here's the last part. A lot of people have been asking a bunch of questions on the gameplay videos. So now that my review is done, a couple people were asking about a walkthrough. Now, if I'm going to do a walkthrough for the full thing, first of all, I'm sorry, but I'm going to play it on easy, because it's kind of a hassle to set up and then record, and then if I die, I don't really want to show that. I'm going to have to make a bunch of clips, so it's going to be more stressful. So I'm just going to play through it on easy. And a few of you asked about alternate costumes. So the question is, I already have some unlocked. Do you want me to go through the walkthrough with the alternate costumes on or off? Alright, let me know. So do you want the walkthrough? And if you want the walkthrough, do you want alternate costumes on through the walkthrough? Thank you for watching. I'm Knight2727, and this is my review for Spider-Man Edge of Time 3DS.